Hi, it's James here from the Web Video Company. In this presentation, we're going to be covering using YouTube for video marketing research and just for marketing research in general. It's amazing the power and flexibility that YouTube can offer in terms of finding out market research. So here's really how it can help you. First of all, it will let you decide in advance whether or not a product is actually worth creating before you spend your time and your money doing so. Now, let's face it, we've all made this mistake before. We spent time and money developing a product or a service for sale on the internet, and even worse, sometimes for free as a kind of an incentive for people to join a list, only to discover it's not what the audience wants, or there's really no interest or very little interest in the product. You know, I've done it many times before, and I'm sure you have. So the whole idea of this is really to avoid making that mistake, avoid that whole struggling thing with, you know, you spend 2 days or 3 days or 3 weeks or 3 months building a product or a service or a solution. You put it out there and then you find no one buys it. We want to avoid doing that. Also doing keyword research to actually find what people are actually looking for. And how we're going to do this is just by creating a really simple short video to decide, number one, how much response you're actually going to get from the video, and number two, what market segment you actually need to focus on in order to find customers who actually are spending money. Because that's another thing, there's another important thing we need to consider when doing any kind of marketing on the internet, is that our customers actually have money to spend. Because if you're targeting a group of people who don't want to spend money, there's absolutely no point at all. And we'll give you an example in a second. You can use a service called Word Tracker. They offer a free trial. I don't think the service is 100% free anymore. I think they used to have a free version, but they'd certainly offer a free trial still. And now it basically allows you to find out long tail keywords, which are really, really useful. For example, rather than just typing in the word cat, people will be searching for stuff like training a Siamese cat. It's just basic logic, and it's really important that you get this stuff right. So what Word Tracker actually allows you to do is just do that, enter the word cat, and then find some really interesting long-tailed keyword phrases which you can work with. Now, long-tail keywords can be basically 3 or more words. Here's some examples of long-tail keywords. If we enter the word cat into Word Tracker, we come up with things like cat illness symptoms, you know, biggest cat in the world, homemade cat repellent, funny cat pictures, how to draw a cat, homemade cat food recipes. And some of these phrases are buying phrases and some are not. E.g., people who are searching for fattest cat in the world, as a good example, aren't going to be wanting to spend money, whereas people who are looking to make their own cat repellent or find out what is wrong with their cat, you know, if they want to buy maybe herbal remedies or, you know, advice of certain common illnesses or common problems to look out for with cats, you know, these guys may well turn into paying customers. Now, what you can do is enter some of those search phrases on Google, you know, use the double quotation marks around the phrases, and this will basically tell you how many search results come up. So if we find a viable phrase, we're going to look for stuff that has more than 5,000 search results, but less than 150,000 search results. And the reason this is, things that have less than 5,000 search results typically don't have very many people looking for them, obviously, right? Because otherwise there'd be more pages on the internet focusing on that specific term. Whereas if you go into the realms of huge numbers of search results, you know, millions and millions, you may come across phrases where, or you know, parts of the market where it's oversaturated and you can't get in there. It's very, very hard without spending a fortune on advertising or even spending time and effort and money sometimes on SEO as well. So we're looking for phrases that are return between 5,000 and 150,000 search results. It doesn't have to be exactly that. Obviously, this is just as a kind of guide, a rule of thumb. So here's an example. Let's search for, you know, make your own natural cat repellent. And this offers about just over 6,000 searches, and most of them, you know, results relating to kind of keeping cats out of unwanted areas of your garden or your yard, and discouraging other people's cats from coming in. You know, common issues here. So let's just work out a few things, how we could actually use this information to make a short video and perform market research. Well, you need to have key phrases as the sort of the title to find these kind of issues. Let's have a look, keeping cats safe, or solving behavioural issues, whether we want to keep the cats out or, stop them going into areas that we don't want them to go into. And, which is the one of these 3 areas that people actually desire, Well, you could ask viewers this directly in your video, and you can invite them to leave comments. Sites such as YouTube and Dailymotion all have commenting features, and YouTube really is the main one, in that YouTube gets huge amounts of visitors every single second of every hour of every day. And people are encouraged to comment. Everyone comments on YouTube. It's the done thing. So asking your viewers to leave a comment is a really simple and effective way to get some really valuable insights into how a market is. You can also send people to your video from social marketing sites, forums, and if you have your own email lists too, it's a really interesting way of getting a list to react. Rather than getting them to fill out a boring survey, you can get them to watch a video, which is immediately a lot more exciting, and a lot more people will click on the video than will click on a survey link, and ask them to provide you with the information that you're